Alrighty, good morning everyone. Please rise for the pledge.
I got hammered last week.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item we have on the agenda, is there any public comments or questions concerning today's agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on. Motion to approve the April 2nd, 2025 agenda.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the, should have added that, huh?
What's that?
That motion to give Mr.
Oh, under the.
Yeah, let's back up a minute, I'm sorry. So we had forgotten to put on here, we need to have a motion added to the agenda. A motion to approve the payment from Act 137 to Habitat for Humanity in the amount of $75,000. Can we back up here and just add that first?
Sure.
Okay, and I have a motion to add that to the agenda. We
Motion.
have to be able to give him a check. So I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, so now we'll just move back with that addition. We'll just ask for a motion to approve the April 2nd, 2025 agenda with that correction.
Motion.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the March 19, 2025 meeting minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the March 26, 2025 conference minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the payment from the general fund, county bills in the amount of $1,002,909.91.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Number 6, motion to approve payment from the bridge repair account in the amount of $35,797.87.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. So the first item we're going to do is a motion to approve the payment to Habitat for Humanity from Act 137 in the amount of $75,000.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Now we will have Michael, because I know he wants to get going because he has houses to build.
Here's a
So again,
party to make.
just so we explain, as we do it every time we give this money to Habitat for their great cause, is that this money comes out of Act 137. This is not directly out of the general fund. This is the money that is collected from the recording of deeds and documents in the county, which is specified to be used for housing initiatives. And Mike, you can give us a little update maybe, but here's your check and we'll get a little picture.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your leadership.
We are now working on house number 37, and we're painting and staining, and hopefully we'll have the family in by the latest in June. I picked up a second permit yesterday. We have 2 permits to start 2 houses in Coconut Mountain Lake Estates in Dingman's Ferry. As soon as the weather breaks, we'll have the excavator out there. And of course, we turned the family over in Walker Lake in September. The little bit of bad news is, of those 39, 30 of the lots were donated. That pool has dried up, and we're buying lots now. And we closed on a lot yesterday in Sunrise, Cobblestone and Sunrise. So we're buying lots now. People are not selling them, not donating them anymore. So this money comes in handy for that too. And there's nothing under. I mean, I think the cheapest lot we bought recently was $10,000.
Right.
Back when we started out with this, there were families that inherited lots in these developments and they didn't know what to do with them, and they handed them off to us. So, but that is, as I said, that has dried up. But we are working. We're always looking for more volunteers. We had 3 new volunteers this week, and we started back after the winter, and that's always good to get. And a local roofing company, by the way, donated labor and materials for the last 2 houses, Summit Roofing, which is a great thing. And then said that he would, for every job he got in 2024, he would make a donation. And he just made a donation of $16,000 to Habitat for Humanity. So we have a very good relationship with people in the county.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much for this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Anything else you need? No?
Anything else you need? Get another check.
You didn't introduce me to the new Democrat on the committee.
I thought you did it last time. you were here.
No, she wasn't here. though.
Okay.
I look different. Hopefully that's a good thing.
Do we want to get a picture?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Wait,
Raise your hand first.
Yeah, okay.
Where would you like to? Here?
Just right there.
I'm right over here.
Putting underneath the chair. Oh, I'm one of the few Democrats in the county.
God bless you. Okay, stand closer.
Matt knows that.
Okay, smile. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Wait 1 minute.
Come on.
Did you need a shot too?
Same thing.
In Florida.
You need a picture?
It's a slightly different, it's a slightly different situation in Florida.
Yeah, he's-
There's a development going there of 70 houses in one development. The Army Corps of Engineers come in to clear the lot. The governor of the state was there for the groundbreaking. And they're building 15 to 20 houses a year. You'll see donations down there. Waste Management's headquarters is down there. They made a donation of 500,000.
Wow.
It's unbelievable, the operation they're going down there. Massive operation.
Because I think it's important to note that Mike volunteers up here, but then on his off time in Florida, he's down there doing the same thing.
Yeah.
God bless.
And Lori, you didn't get a picture?
No, what's your full name, sir?
Michael Donlon, D-O-N-L-O-N. Don't
Democrat.
get me mixed up with Mike
Capital
Donlon,
D.
who broke the school record for the long distance for cross country in Delaware Valley this year.
Mike Donlin from Habitat. And Chris, Shannon, you can share the picture. Okay, we'll get you a picture.
D-O-N.
L-O-N.
Lucky. Thanks.
All right?
All right, go back to work.
I am.
Yeah.
All right. But I'm going to a party first. All
All right.
Okay, good enough.
Take care, Mike.
Good
Thank you.
recommendation. Take
All
care.
right. Bye.
Yeah.
He's better than me. 90 years old.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Okay, on to personnel. Number one, motion to create 2 armed security guard positions in the sheriff's office for a 40-hour work week.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to acknowledge the receipt of a letter from Sheriff Beanie advising that he has hired Anthony Grise as an armed security guard in the sheriff's office for a 40-hour work week effective April 7th, 2025, with benefits after 90 days.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to acknowledge the receipt of a letter from Ward Lowe advising that he has hired the following individuals with prison board approval as full-time correctional officers at the correctional facility for a 40-hour work week effective April 14, 2025, with benefits after 90 days. Travis Albertson, Pamela Bush, Timothy Kruger, Daniel Lodwicks, Gabriel Musselwhite, Brian Ragland, Michael Ramery, Matthew Ryle, Kobe Thomas, and Salvatore Zito. Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Motion to recess the Commissioners' meeting to hold a salary board meeting. Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion to convene the salary board. Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion to approve the March 19th and 26th, 2025 salary board minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion to set the hourly rate of Anthony Grise at $20 per hour as an armed security guard in the sheriff's office for a 40-hour work week effective April 7th, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to set the hourly rate of the following individuals at $26.23 per hour as a full-time correctional officers at the correctional facility for a 40-hour work week effective April 14th, 2025. Travis Albertson, Pamela Bush, Timothy Gruber, Daniel Lodowicz, Gabriel Musselwhite, Brian Ragland, Michael Ramery, Matthew Ryle, Kobe Thomas, Salvatore Zito.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn the salary board. Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion to reconvene the Commissioners' meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion to authorize the chairman to execute the contractor's application for payment from Groom Construction in the amount of $59,371.18 for the Bennett Avenue Building 1 interior renovations project.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion to adopt resolution number 25-07, National County Government Month, April 2025.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Ron, can you read that one?
Yep. Resolution number 25-07, National County Government Month, April 2025. Whereas the nation's 3,069 counties serving more than 330 million Americans provide essential services to create healthy, safe, and vibrant communities. And whereas counties fulfill a vast range of responsibilities and deliver services that touch nearly every aspect of our residents' lives. And whereas counties as intergovernmental partners enact local, state, and federal programs to address the needs of all residents. And whereas Pike County and all counties take pride in our responsibility to protect and enhance the health, well-being, and safety of our residents in efficient and cost-effective ways. And whereas each year since 1991, the National Association of Counties has encouraged counties across the country to elevate awareness of county responsibilities, programs, and services. And whereas Pike County will celebrate National County Government Month by highlighting county programs, projects, initiatives on its website and social media platforms to raise awareness about county's important role in building healthy, safe, and vibrant communities. Now therefore, be it resolved that we, the Commissioners of Pike County, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as National County Government Month and encourage all county officials, employees, schools, and residents to participate in county government celebration activities.
Thank you, Ron. Okay. Next item we have is a motion to adopt resolution number 2508, National Child Abuse Prevention Month.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Krista? Please.
Resolution number 25-08, National Child Abuse Prevention Month, April 2025. Whereas children are our nation's most vulnerable members as well as our nation's most valuable resources, helping to shape the future of Pike County. And whereas positive childhood experiences like loving caregivers and safe, stable, and nurturing relationships can help mitigate trauma and the negative impact of adverse childhood experiences, also known as ACEs, to promote the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children. And whereas childhood trauma can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects throughout an individual's lifetime and impact future generations of their family. And whereas childhood trauma, including abuse and neglect, is a serious problem affecting every community in the United States, and finding solutions requires input and action from everyone. And whereas children who live in families with access to concrete economic and social supports are less likely to experience abuse and neglect. And whereas prevention is possible because of the partnerships created between families, prevention advocates, child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and local, state, and national governments. And whereas we acknowledge that in order to solve the public health issue of abuse and neglect, we must work together to change hearts and mindsets through storytelling and sharing, center the needs of families, break down bias and barriers, and inspire action from expected and unexpected partners in prevention. And whereas we are committed to advancing equitable, responsive, and effective systems that ensure all children and families are healthy and thriving. And whereas we recognize the need to prioritize kids and invest in more prevention initiatives like home visiting and family strengthening policies, economic supports, and community-based child abuse prevention programs at the national, state, and local levels. Now therefore, we, the Pike County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim April as National Child Abuse Prevention Month in Pike County and urge all citizens to recognize this month by building a narrative of hope for children and families through collaboration and the creation of an ecosystem of primary prevention.
Thank you. Sarah is here from the CAC, and I believe members from VIP, correct?
Yes.
And whoever would like to speak to it, please.
Hello, Chelsea. I did come prepared because I know I have to talk. So I just want to say that it's an honor to work here in Pike County and to have the Children's Advocacy Center that we do have. But it's also an honor to work for the kids that do come into our center. So child abuse is a troubling, devastating issue that affects millions of children around the world, not just here in Pike County. It can take many forms: physical, emotional, sexual, and neglect, which can leave lasting scars on victims' mental health, their emotional and physical well-being. And the sad reality is that child abuse is not always visible. Often it happens behind those closed doors, hidden from the eyes of our community members, and the effects can ripple throughout the child's life. The damage caused by abuse is not temporary. It can lead to lifelong struggles with trust, self-worth, and forming healthy relationships. So as children grow up, they may also be risk of repeating the cycle of abuse, becoming victims again themselves, or even becoming a perpetrator from that abuse. Here in our county alone, we saw 167 children at our center. And that's not including the number that children and youth had to see. Those are just the kids that actually came to our center. So outside of Dixon House, we planted a pinwheel, which represents happiness for children, for every single child that has came through our doors last year. So each pinwheel represents a child that came through. So of those kids that we saw last year, 38% were there for sexual abuse. And then we had 62 that were there for physical abuse, neglect, or witnessing crimes. So at Dixon House, we truly believe that every child deserves to live free from harm, and to grow up in a world that supports their well-being and to have the opportunity to succeed. So we just want to thank everyone for our support. We thank our partners that we refer many, many families to VIP. So we just want to thank everyone for being here and supporting our goals and our missions. So thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
I don't have much to add. I love to see the
Come on, Charles.
I'm very Italian, so I always say I don't have much to say, and then I have a lot to say. I do just want to start with, I have been working in this county for about 8 years, and I really can feel our partnership strengthening and growing with this CAC, and it just feels really good. It feels very energetic, and there's just so much more excitement, and I don't know what has changed, but it just, this year feels really good for VIP and Dixon House. So I'm really excited to see where our partnership goes and what else is on the line. Keep your eyes out for maybe a 5K down the road. Tried it, didn't work this year, but we're hopeful
Run,
for
walk,
next
right?
year.
I hope.
Yeah, run, walk, hobble, whatever
Right.
you have to get across the finish line, we're for it. And along with Child Abuse Prevention Month, it's also Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So you can see there's a lot of overlap. I mean, 38% of kids is a lot that are experiencing sexual abuse at such a young age. And we have an event coming up that, of course, I didn't bring flyers for because I wasn't super prepared today. But our Take Back the Night event is going to be April 30th at Black and Brass in Hawley. And I know we have a really special guest speaker, Ray Tonkin, is going to be speaking at the event because if you've been following the news, there's been a lot of cases coming up around child sexual abuse, and he's been working really hard with his team to stop these things before they happen, before they get worse, and making sure those kiddos and their families get services. So again, just a testament to the partnership that we've been building. So thank you for your support, and thank you for being here and supporting our work in whatever way you can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, it doesn't go unnoticed that today, as we just read earlier, National County Government Month. And this just shows in our community what county government really does. County government is here to protect, and we as elected officials have one main goal, and that is public safety. And this all ties together with that. And if there's anything else that we do during our day or our term in office, is to make sure that the people of this county are safe, and it's people like you that make our job easier to make sure that the children and the families in this community. So I commend for what you do, because I know this is not, and children and youth and all of the people that play a part in the daily role, what you do, these are not easy jobs. These are not easy situations that you're faced with. And sometimes you take that home with you also, so we just hope that you're taking care of yourself, because you see some really horrific trauma that you're young enough that maybe you shouldn't see. But at the same time, it's reality, and we need to face it head on. So thanks for what you do.
If I can add, as always, I take this month to speak on it, but I'll be brief. As a child whose family had to utilize both services, you know, I commend both of you for doing the tough work and having the difficult position of, but also the blessing of being able to be there for kids and their families, especially the Dixon House. I have to tell you, when I toured it, you saw how emotional I became, but it's wonderful. The dogs, the environment, it's so nurturing and makes kids feel safe, and that's what they need to be able to speak up and bring these horrible people to justice. And I will also just end with this. 9 times out of 10, maybe that's a wrong statistic, you probably have the right statistic, the person who offends is a family member. And I cannot stress enough the need for folks to be willing and courageous to report so that DA Tonkin can do the great work that he's doing. We have to get these people off the street.
I think your statistic's pretty close, it's like 93%.
Yeah.
Very high.
Okay, move on to the next one. Motion to adopt resolution number 2509, Pennsylvania 811 Safe Digging Month, April 2025.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
I
Well, this certainly,
Want to read it?
this certainly emphasizes the
Where's your heart
variety
at,
of
Ron?
work. You're supposed to have someone here, but
She may
come.
show up at the end of the meeting, she was stuck in an accident on
But nowhere near the seriousness of the last resolution, but also very important. Resolution 25-09, Pennsylvania 811 Safe Digging Month, April 2025. Whereas the month of April 2025 recognized as Pennsylvania 811 Safe Digging Month, and the initiative sponsored by Pennsylvania 811, a utility notification information center with 53 years of continuous service to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And whereas Pennsylvania 811 received 1 million excavation notifications in 2024, over 3,000 construction projects in coordinate PA, and transmitted approximately 6 million notifications to their member facility owners and operators, allowing essential utility and construction crews to provide vital underground services and repair of critical infrastructure to communities throughout Pennsylvania. And whereas when contacting 811 at least 3 business days prior to digging, a homeowner or contractor is connected to a unique service that notifies the appropriate underground utility operators in the municipality in which they work, which the work will perform. And whereas by notifying 811 of the intent to dig, the homeowner or contractor is knowingly helping to protect the underground utilities themselves, the work crew, and their neighbors from any unsafe digging practices within their community. And whereas upon receiving the notification from Pennsylvania 811, the facility owners and operators dispersed to the said work site to mark the approximate locations of underground utility lines with flags, paint, or both, to establish an 18-inch tolerance zone of the outside wall or edge of the line or facility. Now therefore be it resolved that the Pike County, in support of Pennsylvania Underground Utility Line Protection Law, PA Act 287 of 1974, as amended, we do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Pennsylvania 811 Safe Digging Month, and encourage all Pennsylvanians to visit the Pennsylvania 811 website at www.paoncall.org for information about digging safely.
Thank you, Ron. Again, it's about public safety. I know we do that every year, and some people look at it and say, what is that about? But it is that important, and it's a really simple process to just make that phone call, because you don't know what kind of harm you can do in the community. If you don't call and you hit that gas main, you will find out. And unfortunately, it could be very detrimental to people in the area. Okay, number 4, motion to advertise bids for the sale of the transportation vehicles.
Motion.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Motion to authorize the chairman to execute the Worker Protection and Investment Certification Form for the PEP 901 grant on behalf of the planning and mapping.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Motion to authorize the chairman to execute the contract for professional services between the Little Playroom and the County of Pike on behalf of Children and Youth Services.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to authorize the chairman to execute the ICE contract amendment on behalf of the correctional facility as recommended by the prison group.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to authorize the chairman to execute the Intermediate Punishment Plan 2025 on behalf of the correctional facility as recommended by the prison board.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the following human service payment vouchers on behalf of the Office of Human Service Development Fund in the amount of $1,321.16, fair in the amount of $1,869.07, and state food purchase program in the amount of $16,561.02.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. As every month, we have the Penn State Extension calendar of events. We've already taken care of Habitat for Humanity's check. And we have our state rep, Jeff Olsoner here, who, would you like to,
Yep.
didn't know you were coming. We welcome you all the
Just
time.
we were out and about doing a visit at a local water authority, and I wanted to come by to say hello and be here with you folks. And it's great to be here as you read that resolution about the work that the county does and the employees of the county, the different agencies in the county. And I should point out, last week when we were in session, some of your folks from Area on Aging were down in my office talking as well. So the extent that Pike County reaches out and the collaboration between the state, myself, and you folks has been a wonderful experience. So that's what I'd like to say. So glad to be here today.
Thank you. Appreciate your help.
Okay. And we'll go on to press and public comment. Lori?
I just had a question regarding these resolutions. Are they good forever? Like, is next year, April, going to be?
It is, yeah. Many of these things, this is Child Abuse Month is April. That's why they're listed the way they are.
So it'll still be digging month and
Yeah, they just recognize that just to bring attention to it all.
but they go on. Once you declare them such, they are the same every year following.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, motion to adjourn? Motion.